Hello everyone, welcome to the Open Central Asia Regional Interest Community. My name is Yerkin Abdurrahim and I am one of the community leaders. Today I'm going to be your host. I'm also going to be your chat moderator and will be also facilitating Q&A session at the end of the webinar. Welcome to the Cascade Learning Series webinar. Today is our presenter Rohatoy Rasulova from Uzbekistan. She will be cascading, learning the knowledge from American English Live Series 24.4 Game on Adapting Popular Media and Games for English Language Classrooms. So let me introduce our presenter. Rohatoy is an open alumnus who successfully completed the Teaching English Communicatively course. She is a certified TESOL teacher and an American English e-teacher with extensive experience in English language teaching and youth education. She is also an alumna of the Youth Leadership American Council Small Grants Program, where she worked on improving reading comprehension in the remote areas of Uzbekistan. In addition, she participated in the ITEC Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Program in 2014. Welcome, Rohatoy. We are very happy to have you today. Thanks for your contribution to our mutual community. It's over to you. Let me make you a co-host. Now you can share the screen, Rohatoy. You are a co-host. While the Rohatoy is sharing her screen, let me remind you the session is being recorded. So if you don't want to be seen in the recording, if you don't want to chat in the chat box, it's up to you. It's encouraged. It's optional, but it's encouraged. And the session will provide the certificate of attendance, and the link will be shared at the end of the webinar, and it will be available for 30 minutes after the end of the webinar. So try to complete the form as soon as possible. Thank you. Yeah, we can see the screen, Rohatoy.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Erkin.
Yeah, you are welcome.
So, yes, good evening, everyone. Today, I'm going to talk about a webinar called Game On, Adapting Popular Media and Games for English Language Classrooms by Grace Allely. So, in this webinar, explains the teachers how can use games for making lessons more engaging, interactive, and effective. So, if I speak about the Grace Allely, this webinar was presented by Grace Allely from TESOL International Association. Then it was focused on game-based language learning strategies and techniques. So, and emphasized practical, ready-to-use activities for EFL classrooms worldwide. So this webinar explores how teachers can effectively integrate popular games and made into English language classrooms to boost engagement, participation, and learning outcomes. So in this webinar, so simple activities can help students to use English, practice English more fun and meaningful ways during the lessons. So if I speak about Grace Allely, so I have already mentioned that she's an experienced teacher trainer in language education, combining practical classrooms experience with leadership in professional development for educators and worldwide. So, if we speak about, if we begin our webinar, so the first question, why are games important in language learning? You can share your ideas, or you can just write your ideas on a chatbot.
Yeah, thank you, Rohatoy. The question is, why are the games important, right? Yeah, please.
Can I share?
Yes, please, Dilnaza. Thank you.
Okay. Hello, dear colleagues. Thank you for
Hello.
being me here. I think, in my opinion, classroom games are very useful for students. They make lessons interesting and fun. Games help students improve speaking, listening, reading, and writing skills. Students can learn new words and practice grammar through games. Thank you so much. It was about how is important classroom games.
Yeah, great.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Dilnaza, for your opinion, sharing opinion. We have some opinion in the chat box. Farida Jumagulova says, it creates warm atmosphere. That's great. Dila Fruzakhunova, games make process interesting. Absolutely. The user, I think it's Nina, right? They make the lesson resultative and enjoyable for the learners. Absolutely. Farida, again, it removes student shyness. Absolutely. Yeah, everybody joins the activity and they are all equal. Absolutely, Farida. Thanks. Parvina Hakimova says, because games help to practice learning skills. Absolutely. Thank you. Mutriba Karimova, games help our students feel themselves comfortable. Right. Because as I mentioned it before, everybody joins activity and they are equal. And the students love, especially young learners love games, interactive games with digital technologies, any kind of games. Yeah, thank you so much, everybody, for sharing your thoughts. Over to you, Rohatoy.
Okay, thank you. So we can see that languages can help to increase motivation. So it can create natural communication, and it relieves stress and encourages active participation and build confidence. So how many of these benefits do you see in your classrooms? Now, all of you now mentioned it in the chat box, and Delnoz also mentioned about this. Thank you for your contribution. So, and if we look at the research, so this webinar also included research about games in education. So Krashen in 1982 explained that affective filter hypothesis can affect students' education. Students can learn very well, very good during the lessons if they are not afraid of anything. So that Krashen said that when they feel less anxiety, students can learn very well. Besides this, plus Homer and Kinzer also mentioned about that games increase curiosity, challenges, and motivation during the lessons. So games are very important. So research shows that games create optimal conditions for language acquisition, reducing anxiety bar and increasing engagement, active participation in the learning process. So if we speak about benefits of games, so I have already mentioned about this. It releases anxiety, increases curiosity among the students, and it's also engage students very actively and active communication, and it can build strong confidence. So games create positive learning experiences that boost students' success. So another question for you. What challenges do you have when you are using games in your classroom? Okay, you can answer orally, or you can write your answers on the chat box.
Yeah, that's
Challenges.
also
Good
a
evening,
great.
everyone. Let me answer, please.
Yes, please, Parvina. Thanks.
Okay, of course, games are very activities, very good way of engaging, involving all students. But you know, they have also some challenges, especially while doing games. Active students become more active, and passive ones try to not to be involved and not to participate. But we should control that they also should be engaged, and teamwork, pair works really help to engage even more passive students. That's why the first thing, the first challenge while while using these games, I think it's some shy or some passive students not to want to participate. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Great points, Parvina. Thanks for sharing.
May I share, Miss?
We have some sorts here. We have some comments in the chat box. Yeah, let me look. Yeah, the Loraba Kaipova says it becomes sometimes noisy when yeah for it can really disrupt some lessons from you know, the even the sounds comes out your classroom, right? And everybody can hear in the corridor. And some teachers sometimes, what comes to me, they come up to you and say, could you please be a little bit quieter because it's very noisy. Yes, we sometimes hear from our colleagues. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, welcome, Rosetta. Farida says classroom control. Yes, as it is, it's sometimes difficult to control, to manage all the class when all your students are engaged. Ulugbek Sabirov says sometimes students become undisciplined during the games. Yeah, where some, yeah, of course, some people can obey your rules, some don't. It's obvious. It's because they are children, and we can understand it. It's true. Ulugbek, thanks for sharing your thoughts. De La Fruz, difficult in controlling. The second one is to combine with the theme. Yeah. It's sometimes it's difficult to find the appropriate game for the topic, right? User Nina, if I'm not mistaken, discipline, lack of time because our lesson plans are so overloaded with material. Dilnaza Sultanova, communication and confident. Farida, assessment difficulties. Okay, Dilnaza, improving thinking skills. Many games like puzzle, strategy, or video games help improve problem solving, memory, and decision making. Aselab Samatova says some serious students can think that games are childish. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes we can hear from our students that these games can be, for some of them, is not interesting. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, dear colleagues. Over to you, Rohatoy.
Thank you. Common challenges. So we can tell that teachers can face limited time, mixed levels of students in one classroom, and there is maybe not enough time or technology, and it is a little bit difficult to keep students engaged because they are in different diverse levels. Thank you. So in this webinar, Gracie showed some applicable solutions to these problems. So she explained that easy games for adapt these problems, low-tech and high-tech options, curriculum-based activities, and flexible for all levels. Now we are gonna see these three games. One of them is TV quiz show game. In this game, students choose categories and point values for questions and answer vocabulary and grammar questions to earn points. team competition format builds collaboration are engaged more, are supported. For example, is it visible? For example, conditionals, models, and listening comprehension. 100 bell, 200 bell, 300 bell, and 400 bell. 100, 200, 300, 400 bell. Okay, in this game, the first activity was we'll give, for example, one student come to the blackboard and we'll give modal verbs. You can ask, you can make up sentence, you use could, for example. And students can answer, I could bake a cake. Then if it is correct sentence, I will give 100 bell. Then another student come and student will choose conditions and I will give conditional 1. Then in this case, that will go on like this. So now see. Modal verbs 100 points, use could in a sentence. I could bake a cake. He could run fast. She could sing well. We could help you. Okay, there are 4 sentences. If it is correct, students earn 400 bell. 100, 200, 300, and 400 bell. Okay. Why quiz games work? What makes quiz games effective? In these games, this game works well because students can practice vocabulary. They review their vocabulary. They review their grammar. And they improve their reading comprehension. And there is a friendly competition among the students. So, it is low-tech quiz version. Why it is low-tech quiz version? For example, if there is no technology in your class, but there is a commission director is observing in your classroom, then in this case you will draw simple grid on the whiteboard and create paper question organized by category and point value. No internet, no devices needed. And anytime you can use this low-tech quiz version, like this. And you can use this high-tech quiz version as well. For example, use online quiz tools such as WW Magic tools, Kahoot, or Quiz for instant engagement. Connect project to a whole classroom participation and visually appealing. And it will enable interactive classroom participation with real-time scoring and feedback. And it's also very, very appealing with high-tech quiz version as well. So I'm going to give you questions. How can you adapt this activity in your classroom? How can you change? How can you adapt instead of models, instead of conditions, instead of listening comprehensions? How can you adapt? You can answer orally or you can write down on the chat box.
May I, Miss Rohatoy?
Yes,
yeah,
great.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, Zarang, yes, please.
We can adapt according to our topic. For example, when our topic is sport, we can put different question about sport, yes. We can also, if it is about vegetables, and according to level of our students, according to our topic, we can change it into this fruits, vegetables like this. And if we have grammar, we can, for example, we take nouns, yes, plural form, singular form, like this, and countable, uncountable, or we can say irregular nouns, like a person, people, fish, like this. And according to level of our students, according to our topic, it will be interesting for our students, and it will be more interesting to also engage their attention, grab their attention, because it is connect with our topic. When we prepare a lot of games and show it in, for example, our topic is about football, but we show about nouns or this, it will be not interesting for them. But as you showed, and we have amount of their scores there, yes, and we say that you will earn such kind of money, interesting for them, and should adapt it to their topics and level of the level of the students. And of course, we have different levels in our schools, different levels in our students' classes, and we should pay attention. If one question is difficult, we should take a little bit easy for weak students. And when it will be easy, they can and they will be happy to answer. And when it will be a little bit difficult, and other students with high level also will be happy that they could guess this question. We can make difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zarangis, for sharing your experience. We have some comments here in the chat box. Thank you. That seems very interesting from Ifat Jahan Suchona. Rosetta says, games being added to teaching by us as teachers, educators are a wonderful way of success. Absolutely, Rosetta. Thanks for sharing. Again, one more comment from Rosetta. Your format, Rohatoy, can be used in the rubric form as a method in my teaching of academic writing. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks for sharing your experience, Rosetta. Over to you, Rohatoy.
Okay, thank you. So, next activity, card game. Card games combine vocabulary building with speaking practice. Students match words, explain their reasoning, engage in meaningful communication. You can use adjectives, nouns, plural, singular for vocabulary revision, for vocabulary practice. And students explain their word choices, and they can give reasons to classmates, work in pairs, in groups, encourage natural speaking practice in a meaningful way in a low-pressure environment, as Christian said. Card game benefits. Why are card games effective for learning? It can improve vocabulary. It can improve critical thinking, communicative skills, and grammar reinforcement. It is not only beneficial for vocabulary, but also for improvements in grammar. Making your own cards. You can create personalized game cards to reinforce specific language skills. Synonyms, antonyms, cards for vocabulary building, grammar sentence starters to practice structures and stances, topic vocabulary cards for thematic unit reviews and discussions. Okay, how can you make such kind of card games? Okay, you can use this in grammar as well as, for example, if I were you, there are dots. Okay, then another student will continue. And you can use synonyms as well as, for example, I like English very much. Another student will find out synonyms, or another student will find out antonyms, or another student will find out another version or paraphrase. And in this game also, who can adapt and who can give any additions? If you have any ideas, you can share.
Yes, please, dear participants. If you have any ideas for how can we make the card games effective for our learners? Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, so when just now I'm working at school, and it is also good to use that, but with most people, with a lot of people in the class, with a lot of students in the class, it is a bit harder for me. But when I worked in the language center, we had used to have 12 students, and there we played card games, the memory games. So there should be kind of games. No, the picture and the word. We should the students should find and match. Yes, you see. So there are if there are 12 students, we all sat together around the table, and we found the students found. It is more like kind of concentration game. And just now at school, I'm using another version, as I said, my own. I put the numbers and there I can use the different words, as you said, synonyms, antonyms, and adjectives, verbs, different kind of regular, irregular verbs. Yes, and I divide into 3 or 2 teams, the students, and they should go quickly. It will be in a kind of big, kind of format paper, and divided into grades. And there should be the or maybe picture or maybe the words, and they should go quickly and come here and write the exact kind of square. They should write that word on the board, and it is sometimes really competitive. Students really liked. At the beginning it was a bit hard because the concentration, in order to make the students to learn more, it is difficult now. Yes, they're really forgetful. They don't remember the words, or the words, the spelling of the words, or something else kind of. And it was a bit hard at the beginning. Then they got used to, and it was really interesting and engaging. And I'm using that.
Okay, thank you, Sayara.
Let me answer,
Sayara,
please.
thanks for sharing your thoughts. Yeah, we have some.
May I add, please?
Say a few words.
Can I add, please?
Yeah, well, I will be after you.
Go ahead.
Start speaking. Well, may I begin?
Yes.
Good evening, my dear friends. It's a great pleasure to be with you.
By sharing
yes,
in pairs.
And I often use card games.
Again, Dilnaza Sultan also sharing her comment, pair work, more practicing. Ifa Jahan Suchona says, I think card games can be useful in learning. One good strategy is using question cards for group discussion. This can improve critical thinking, teamwork, and active participation by making students solve problems and share ideas together. Nina says, good for communication. Absolutely. Rosetta, I create game diagram with names of historical places in the world. Each place has a match number, and so students choose, and it has a week for presenting in groups of 3 or by 1. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing, everybody, for your sharing your experience. One more comment, Guzal Khan Marsaminova, for communication development. Absolutely, yes. They will develop their speaking skills by speaking with their peers, right, in groups. Absolutely. Thank you. Over to you, Rohatoy.
Okay, our one volunteer wants to speak.
Yes, please.
It's me. Yes, may I speak a few words?
Yeah, Nina, please.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you for an opportunity to be with you. I'm glad to see you. I'm from Sibey, Eastern Kazakhstan, and I've got my own experience of working with cards for developing speaking skills. Once I was given a present from my colleague. It was a set of cards, swank, то есть хвастаться, да? And I've got cards with opposite pictures. For example, a dog and a cat, winter and summer, an active person and a lazy person. And this is pair work. The discussion lasts till the last idea, yes? Why is cat better? Why is dog better? So coffee and tea and so on and so forth. It's really interesting. They are colorful, and it makes the classroom really enjoyable and resultative. I ask them not to make simple sentences, but use phrasal verbs, use starters, use linkers, so make your answers more complicated, well, to prepare them for speaking. Thank you. That's my idea.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for sharing your thoughts, Nina. Over to you, Rohatoy.
Okay, thank you. So last activity, drawing and passing game. In this game, students write a word or phrase on the paper. Then next students draw it, then pass your paper to the next student. Guess what was drawn and reveal the original word. So, for example, there is a house, and one student write down, there is a house and there is a big tree. Just write down and pass another student. Another student will draw it, and another student will write down sentence, another student will draw it. In this activity, students will improve their listening skill, reading skill, as well as their vocabulary. and this game is very handy for younger students, for kids from the 4th and 5th classes. So it is very handy for reducing stress, helps interaction, and shy students also very engaging in this activity, in this game. So if we speak about benefits of the drawing game, so I have already mentioned it can very handy for listening, vocabulary, creativity of students, and teamwork, and it will reduce anxiety. This is our last and least activity, low tech activity. So I'm going to give you some task. You will write down your action plan, and I will use this game at the end of the class, or at the while classroom or post classroom. I don't know. Just you will write down your action plan, and if you want, you can share your ideas, and you can apply this after this webinar in your classrooms.
Okay, thank you, Rohatoy. So again, could you please explain what is the task? What will the participants do?
You can write down your action plan in your notebook. You can write down action plan. What kind of activities, today's activity, you're gonna use in your lessons?
Oh, you mean today's activities? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, great. Yeah, that's a great question. If dear participants, if you would like to speak, please, you can raise your virtual hand and speak. Which activity you like most?
Yes, and you can use in your classrooms. Next lesson.
May I say, Mr. Rohatoy?
Yes, please, Zaranges.
Your card game was perfect, and our colleagues also shared their ideas. It was also good to hear them and to catch something. And I hope that at the last days of the year, it will be interesting for students to play with such kind of games. Also drawing, and when we saw that, I saw that mimics, they show some things, and another person repeated. Yes, but Ms. Rohatoy shared with us that they will draw picture, and another pupils will draw it, and at the end they will see the original. It's also the good idea to use it. Thank you very much for such kind of interesting games and for sharing your knowledge.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Zaranges, for sharing your comment, for sharing your insights. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have some comments from Zaranges. Again, visual learners learn better when they see and play with cards. Absolutely. Dilafruza Khunova says, according to the topic, I ask students to make games by themselves in pairs or groups. Yeah, creating games is an interesting activity. Absolutely. Nina says, great ideas. Thanks. Ifat Jahan Suchona from one action plan is to use picture cards for listening and speaking activities. One student speak a card and describe the picture without showing it. The other students listen carefully and draw a guess the picture based on the description. After the activity, students compare their drawings and discuss the differences. Thank you so much, Ifat, for sharing this activity. Great ideas, amazing. Ulbek Sabirov says, all activities, especially the last one, catch my attention, and I want to use this game with primary class students. Great, good luck, Ulbek.
Thank you.
Yeah, Ifat, my pleasure. Okay, thank you so much, Rohatoy. Let's go to the Q&A session. We have two questions in the chat box. Let me address the first one from Rosetta Bhagwandin, one of our global coordinators from Guyana. My question to you, dear presenter Rohatoy, do you think that a game formation as a core or sub-subject be implemented in teachers' training curriculum?
Yes, you know.
Yeah, do you think that it can be implemented in teacher training curriculum as like when if you are a teacher trainer, do you think you can implement it? You can include the teacher, the game formation in your curriculum?
Yes, you know that there are many teachers want to conduct such kind of activities in the classrooms, but they are not aware of how to conduct these activities. So that activities, gamers must be implemented and must be explained in detail for teachers, as well as they can use their lessons in the further lessons during the lessons. If it is not understandable, it is very difficult for them to teach activities for students in pair work, group work, in communicative language teaching, task-based language teaching. I think, yes, it can be included in the curriculum.
Absolutely, yes, yes, you are right. Yeah, so some activities, games should be explained, right? And it should be explained in a detailed way in the curriculum. So it's sometimes it's very difficult for the teachers sometimes to get the catch, to get the idea of the game and to play it itself. Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Our next question from Ifat Jahan Suchona, also one of our coordinators, global coordinators from Bangladesh. Her question is, games are often linked with young learners, right? Yeah, usually we play with young learners, absolutely. But can they also be effective for tertiary students? And if yes, what strategies would you suggest for using them meaningfully in higher education?
Yes, you know that higher education also, it's very applicable to use interactive communicative language task-based learning teaching methods. And you know that there are a number of ways to organize task-based communicative language teaching interactive activities, so that they can tertiary education students also can be engaged in the lessons while using CLT, while using TESOL activities, while using task-based, project-based activities. So it's better to engage students for solving problem, creative thinking skill activities rather than simple kids activities, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for sharing your experience, Rohatoy. Yeah, if you have any questions, we just have two questions. You have already answered them. If you have any questions, you can raise your virtual hand. We can accept one or maybe two questions. Okay, so far we have some comments here in the chat box. Let me, yes, here. Guzal Khan Mirsaminova says, card games are also amazing. Ifat Jahan Suchona, I got to adapt them for my tertiary students. Absolutely. Thanks for the informative webinar from Guzal Khan. Rosetta Khagwandin, one of an added game strategy is one student or group showing signs of action and the other students reading out aloud. In this way, students share their cognitive, communicative creativity. Thank you. Aselab Samatova, I usually use game guess is a job, guess the food, or anything else when a word is known only for one person and others try to guess with the help of auxiliary questions like this is food, sweet or chili, is this job an office job or outside job, and this kind of guessing questions. Also nice game, absolutely. Thanks for sharing, Asel. Great, yeah, and some appreciations. Huge thanks for the material and the topic from Nina. Thank you so much. Thanks for the presentation. A lot of appreciation to you, Rohatoy.
Thank you very much, Erkin.
You are welcome. We can, if you have any question, we can accept one more question, dear participants. If not, the link, certificate form, the link is shared in the chat box. Please complete the form as soon as possible. It will be available for 30 minutes after the end of the webinar. So thank you so much again, Rohatoy, our regional coordinator from Uzbekistan, Rohatoy Rasulova. Thanks for sharing your experience. Thanks for cascading the learning gained from the American English live series webinar 24.4. Thank you so much. You can stay with us as we will be sharing our upcoming webinars. We will reach out to you shortly, Rohatoy, to hand out your certificate of appreciation.
Thank you very much, Erkin.
You are welcome. Could you please stop sharing the screen? Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, our next event is viewing party. If you are bored to view the our next American English live series webinar, 24.5, it will be on May 20th. So it will be 8 a.m. Eastern time, 7 I would say 8 a.m. It is 5 p.m. Tashkent time. So please join us. We will be watching this live event, American English live series 24.5 together. Our next webinar is in the special webinar series. Our speaker, Mukaddas Tashiva from Kyrgyzstan, she will be speaking on the topic of teaching English to the students with learning disabilities or language barriers. The event is going to be on May 20 to 7 p.m. Tashkent time. Our next webinar is in the Celebrating America 250. Our speaker, Elada Mirzaeva from Azerbaijan, she will be speaking on the topic of Martin Luther King and civil rights movement. The event is going to be on May 26, 6 p.m. Tashkent time. And especially for open alumni from Central Asia, anyone can join us, any teacher, English teacher. So we are going to have our alumni event, Open Central Asia alumni event. It will be on May 27, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. Our next webinar is in the Alumni Connect series. Our speaker, Saparnepes Atabay from Turkmenistan, he will be speaking on the topic of assessment for learning formative assessment techniques. The webinar is going to be on May 29, 7 p.m. Tashkent time. These are the webinars for the month of May. Please be a part of our growing community. You can see the screen, the QR codes of our pages, Facebook page, YouTube channel, Instagram channel. Please join us and follow us. Thank you so much for today's webinar, Rohatoy. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much, dear participants, dear active participants of today's webinar. Thanks for your great participation, active participation. You engaged all of us. We wish you all the best. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll see you on our next webinars. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
our
you.
regional coordinators. Thank you so much to our global coordinators who joined today.
You're welcome, Yarkin. Great job, Rohatoy. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Have a good day, everyone. Take care. Bye.
Bye.